Imagine that you are an employee of the company whose case you've been studying. You are at a meeting in which people are discussing the issue. However, nobody has brought up ethics. There's a pause in the conversation. You have 90 seconds in which to convince the other people at the meeting that there are ethical issues that need to be addressed. You don't have to argue for a solution. You just need them to see that there are some serious ethical issues here and make them want to pay attention to what you have to say about it. Again, like with the other presentations, we do consider reading off of a script to be a serious weakness. And we want you to be looking right into your camera so that you can make eye contact with us, as difficult as it can be, because some people become accustomed to looking at the screen full of boxes, thinking that they're looking at the person, but they're really not. So I don't think either of you are going to have problems with that, but I do want to bring that up. The order, we are, Concordia is going to go first, and then UMass is going to, it will go second and finish out the day. And what will happen is that we'll have both of you present one after another, maybe a minute in between for Mike and I to write down a few notes. And then at the end, Mike will start by giving you some feedback and by team. And then I will also offer some feedback as well. And then I'll have a couple of announcements for you at the very end before we close, and then we will send you on your way. So Hiral, if you're ready to get started, please do.
Yes. Perfect. Before I start, I'd like to clarify that I would be playing the role of the Chief Knowledge Officer at SHRM, the Society for Human Resources, and I would be presenting to the board of SHRM, the executive team especially. So whenever you are ready.
Thank you. Again, anytime you'd like to start.
Imagine a world where AI development benefits only a select few, leaving already disadvantaged, marginalized groups behind. That's definitely not a world that our organization wants to be a part of. With the widespread deployment of AI, we have already seen that AI is not just inheriting our biases, but it's amplifying them. There are countless cases of the same. If you look at the recruitment process itself, it has ingrained itself into 50% of it, from pre-screening candidates to doing their background checks and video interviews. Let's just look at the pre-screening process, for example. It's already weeding out names that do not sound white, or it does not consider women for high-paying jobs. Or on the video interview level, it'll rule out candidates simply because they have a different accent. Clearly, these are problems that need to be addressed and addressed now, because if not taken into consideration, these issues are going to escalate 300 times in the next 5 years alone. That's decades worth of effort that SHRM has put into making workspaces more diverse, more inclusive, and more safe for marginalized communities. And that's exactly why we want our organization to look into it. We want to bring in experts because we acknowledge that we do not have the power to do it all on our own. We need both internal and external stakeholders, policymakers to come in and help us guide our organizations. We want to give our membership the resources that they need to create the best frameworks to help their employees at each and individual level. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about the lives and the livelihoods of people. And at the end, I just would like to remind you of my question. Do we want to be a part of the world that's going to increase systematic discrimination, or one that's just and fair? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And take just 1 minute here to get a couple notes down. Jonathan, you are up next. Are you ready to go?
Hi.
Okay, Jonathan, whenever you're ready, please begin.
Guys, the more that we go around and around and around this table discussing our ethics and the impending lawsuit that's coming, I think I actually get closer to an idea. Look, I've been mulling this since we went to the NSCP, the National Society of Compliance Professionals, their national conference, and I went to a talk that basically I think there's a way that we can turn kind of our ethical deficits into actually a strength and really end up killing multiple birds with one stone. So it was a talk about how an ethics program can actually be a revenue generator instead of just a cost. And, like, I'm really concerned that we're dragging our feet on implementing our new ethics program that we keep talking about over and over and over. I think we need to get together with comms. I think we need to get together with marketing. And I think we need to figure out how to message about it, but also implement this in our department. I got into this business because my mom needed this kind of loan, and it was a lifeline. And I think that we're in a position to help people like my mom. And I think we should be able to communicate with them directly. I think that our industry's ethical fuzziness can actually be solved by us communicating the value we're doing, our interest rate reduction program, our new programs to really help our borrowers, and our ethical training too. So let me put some figures together and let me know what you think. Let's meet tomorrow at 10 and we can figure something out. Sound good?
Okay, Jonathan. Just a minute here. Mike, are you ready? You're muted.
Give me just another second.
Okay, that's fine. Take what you need.
Okay.
And give us some feedback.
Very good. So Hiral, I thought it was a very good presentation. You came off strong. You drew me in. I was listening to it, and you quickly got into the issue being that there is discrimination that is attendant to the AI. And the AI can make the problem worse, or can make the problem not as bad, and that the organization needs to be on the right side of that question. There was a point in there that you didn't quite define it, but it drew my mind to kind of make my own conclusion. And that for me was a good speech technique, that you're not specifically calling it out, this and banging over the head, but you're actually making me think about it. And so from that standpoint, I thought the presentation was very good.
Let's move right ahead to Jonathan.
Okay. Jonathan, the presentation, I felt like the first 60 seconds of the 90 was getting to know the people you were talking to. I don't think you defined the issue. I think you, at the end, you just said that our program for interest rate reduction and education is the solution, but I didn't get anywhere in there where the actual issue was identified. It was more about, I spoke to them and I read that, and this other organization says this, and by the way, this and the other thing. And so I think it didn't seem to have a focus. It was more about getting ready to get ready. And so, but in the end, then here's the program, and I didn't feel like I really knew what the issue was.
Okay. My turn. We'll start with Rural. I really liked how you opened. I really like that you opened up with imagine a world. That is a great way to grab your audience, to engage their imagination, and imagine a world that looks better or looks worse, either way. But I think that's a great way to start and to start the conversation. I really thought you had very nice eye contact, and you had a nice forceful but yet still genial tone about you, and which made you sound very confident. And you were very natural in your presentation skills. I also think that you had a great ending to it. it was the call to action kind of ending that really makes people go, wow, okay, we're gonna have an opportunity to talk about this, and this is very worthwhile. So the energy that you brought to it really worked well for you, and it was a very convincing piece, and really enjoyed that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Jonathan, I really liked the way that you were so conversational, and you really brought out your personality and the person that you are. That is a huge asset to be able to do that when you speak. So many people, they become somebody else when they speak, usually a boring person. And there's absolutely no reason for that, because the studies all show the exact same thing, which is that in public speaking, your audience is never going to be more interested in your topic than you appear to be. And they will respond to enthusiasm more than anything else. Enthusiasm always comes out at the very top for what audiences like and will relate to. So when you can bring enthusiasm, which you did, I thought that was excellent. You were very natural in your speaking, and it really felt like you were talking to us. I love saying, hey, we're dragging our feet here. Enough talk. Why not get it out there like that? Look at you people. Come on. We need to step up here and get with the program. You're very direct that way. Love that you brought in your mom. That was fantastic. We all have or had moms, and so all you have to do is say mom, and it pulls at the heartstrings in a positive way for most of us. And so when you can bring in a personal example like that to your speaking, all the better. Always when you can bring in something personal, add that to your great personality. And I like the way that you said that you ended up with, I'll put the figures together and we can talk about this later. That's a great way to foreshadow the next piece. I'll put some figures together, because sure enough, that's what a board of directors or C-suite people, when they hear numbers are coming, they get excited. So the fact that you brought that up and ended with, hey, we know what we're going to do next. You're going to meet with me. I'm going to have more good stuff for you. So I appreciate that. I think both presentations were very good, and you were the right choice by your team to be the ones that present the 90-second.
Thank you so much. We are happy to make our team proud as well.
Do you have any questions for either Mike or myself before we close?
No, we do appreciate the feedback. No questions from my side though.
Yeah, no, the feedback is great.
Okay.
I definitely totally blanked on a point, and it was like, yep, definitely, yep. That happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, you're human, and
Yep.
you're not some robotic presenter of things. You're human, and there's nothing wrong with spacing out on a point and things like that. As long as you don't do it too many times, the audience isn't going to even notice anyway. And you recovered very well. Had you not said anything, Jonathan, I would not have known that. And I'm going to put that right out of my mind, that because I did not see that. So
no, I appreciate it. But the feedback is really great. It's all the feedback I've actually gotten. I've been thinking about how interesting it is to give a presentation, and 3 or 4 different judges can all hear different things. And it's such a reminder for actual work.
yes,
You can give the same facts and figures, and everyone hears that the house was blue, not red, or red, not blue, and it's literally blue.
yeah,
yeah. Or orange,
right. And
and I think that's really it's a reminder for us. It's cool, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you're both obviously very talented individuals, which means you are going to be giving presentations in the future. People like you are the ones they call on to give speeches. So I appreciate that you're willing to take our feedback and go forward with it, because you have a really, really good foundation to build upon.
Thank you both so much, really.
Sure. Next year, just a few closing comments. I had mentioned this to Jonathan before, but next year, our plan, and I said this last year, and COVID made a liar out of me, but our plan for next year is once again to return to a live format. And we always have our live events in Boston or Cambridge. And that is our plan. This year, the numbers for COVID were spiking. on the East Coast and in quite a bit in Massachusetts. We had to make the call quite a while ago as to which format we were going to go with, and we decided to err on the side of caution. And lacking knowledge of where COVID was going to go, we made that decision. But we do know that what's the most popular thing about IBEC is the live event, and so our goal is to return to that next year, especially if we can raise the funds for it. I know it's an expensive thing to put on, and IBEC is a true nonprofit in that we never make a profit. It's a total break-even operation, and so we depend on our corporate sponsors and all to help us out. And if you two happen to have an extra $5,000 laying around, after you pay your loans, you can flip that our way. We certainly wouldn't turn it back. I hope you will come to the awards event on Monday. It is it's a nice event. It's very short, and I will tell you and your team members too that this is done in webinar format, so you will not be seen on the screen, which means you can wear your sweats and your awful t-shirts and all you want, and you can turn it into a drinking game if you want. Everything is just fine. It's just more important to us that you get a chance to see it, and it really is a nice way to bookend your experience here at IBEC.
Thank you so much. We look forward to it.
Good.
Have a great evening.
And I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe you wish I would be, Hiral, but I got a little bit more to go here.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Just a couple of final comments, and that is that we have at IBEC, at this event, we have 7 senior judges and about 50 regular judges, 50. That's and I want to tell you that almost all of our judges have been with IBEC for a long time. You heard Mike say 15 years. I'm at 18 years. A lot of other people have been here that long as well. And everyone is extremely talented. And you know what? Nobody gets paid. This is a complete volunteer effort. It's done as a labor of love. And wouldn't you love to have an organization where you have this many talented people who work for nothing? Wow, I sure would like to have that. But I'm a very curious type, and so I want to find out from our judges why. Why do you keep coming back to IBEC year after year after year? And in those conversations, 2 things tend to come up the most. Number one is that all of us, we really, really love IBEC, and 26 years says something about our history. IBEC is an organization that truly walks its talk and behaves in the most ethical way that could possibly happen. And we just love being part of an organization like that. And it's not something that you get to see out there very often. Tom White, who founded the organization 26 years ago out in California, where it was originally headquartered. He would hate to hear that I'm about to say this because he doesn't like recognition, but he is just one of the finest people on earth, and you really feel like the earth is in good hands with someone like him that is such an expert in business ethics and is able to bring it to so many different places. And so that's number one. All of us judges, we love IBEC. But number 2, and I think this may be the one that would win the most votes if we were to take a poll, and that is the fact that you bring so much. All of our participants bring so much. We learn so much from you. We provide you an opportunity, but you're the ones that give us so much information that we wouldn't get otherwise. Business ethics is just such a broad field that there's no way that anyone is going to know everything and know about every situation. So we really appreciate the fact that we get so many different topics every year about things that we probably hadn't thought about. So we learn as much from you as you could possibly get from us. And we really want you to know how much we value that, how much we value you, and how much we know that you have spent tons of time to be here. And we thank you for that. what's going to happen next is that Mike and I will meet for a little while after we excuse you, and then that will end IBEC 2023. And hopefully you've had a good time with us. Hopefully you found this experience to be valuable, as we always find it to be as judges. And Hiral, you are graduating, so I will say good luck to you. We wish you all the best. Jonathan, I'm going to expect to see you next year, and if it's live, yeah, maybe we'll get a chance to visit live. So
Sounds great.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna miss it, but thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. It's been our honor to be able to work with such fine people. You give us hope that the world is going to be a better place with people who understand business ethics, and you'll have the opportunity to identify ethical issues and call people out on them when necessary. You are our hope for the future. So thank you one last time. Take care. All the best.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Michael.